Hey, this is Michael Sean Wright of Nice Fish Films, and we are announcing something really special. It's a combination. We are, as technologists, makers, all centers around music. Francis Ford Coppola said that there are three universal languages. That's music, math, and film. For me, music, film, and mind. It's about nothing. And for too long, we've allowed ourselves the bad good that it's a pale real deal is. No longer are we going to settle for that. So we are launching analog. It's Dana Point. And we say it's where whales sing the loudest. Dana Point and Wales are known by the connection all over the world. To Dana Point, we're in California because limited the amount of cell towers that don't interfere with their signals. We have stopped putting plastic in our harbors, which makes them happier. We limit the amount of traffic that's in their migration paths. We have blue whales, gray whales, orca whales, and we're about to have the Festival of the Whales. So our rule here, if it hurts the whales, we just do not do it. I tell you what makes us happy is when we get to discover something that's so special and has a personal connection that it builds community instantly. One of the things that we've discovered by just being in our community is the man who ran Tudor and Spunky, yeah, Deli for 20 years, who wins every award every year, best sandwich, best customer service, best smile, was Johnny Cash's co-producer on a record called
Destination
Victoria Station. And we have rediscovered this record because of this man standing right behind us. And we're going to have a very special evening with him giving us insights into what that was like. So, Tom, when was this recorded?
This was recorded in 1977. The album was produced in 77. Yeah. Some of the music, obviously, originally was before, because it was an album of what I would call Johnny's favorite train songs.
Yeah.
And Victoria Station was a restaurant built out of boxcars and cabooses, and Johnny was our spokesperson. So there was a nice fit, and he came to me, after our association together started, maybe a year or so later, and he said, I'd like sponsor a record of train songs.
Yeah.
And that was the start of
he loved doing those specialty records at a certain period of his life. Songs dedicated to Native American Indians. He did the album with you for train songs. There were certain notes that came to him and said, you know what, I better get this down now.
And in this album, he sat down and wrote the title song called Destination Victoria Station, which was about a soldier coming home from World War II, and his fiancée or wife was going to meet him at Victoria Station in London.
Yeah.
And he captured that on the title song for this album.
Yeah.
And then there were the other songs that I picked out along with.
So you're actually in the studio in the talkback position. When you're in that position, Johnny, I think there's be a different approach. Was it an easy day? You spent hours on just one vocal.
Yeah, an easy day. It was certainly an enjoyable day, but I certainly was nervous in having to say to Johnny, let's not use that song.
Yeah.
And he would be curious, why not? Yeah. And I had my reasons. I knew quite a bit about some of the songs on there, familiar with artists, had done them first, and I thought
Arlo Guthrie, we're talking about, also
Joan Baez.
Joan Baez.
Yeah, those are the two songs I had to.
The night that drove you down, and New Orleans,
City of New Orleans.
Yeah,
I turned down, and they are not on this. The other ones are Prison Blues and Orange Blossom Special. That was a very important one to him.
And so many people thought that John actually was in time. He never did connection. He wore black for the man who suffered. Manuel, who was Moody's tailor, moves to Nashville and tells John, "You wear black from now on." Johnny adopts and says, and much of himself.
He had great empathy for the prisoners.
Yeah.
And of course, he certainly wore his black when I was in San Quentin with him for a concert. The prisoners loved him. They cheered him, they screamed, they yelled, whatever. And he knew how to play it too. I mean, you know, he knew who his audience was. And I'm sure the warden was a little nervous on that day when Johnny was in the prison. But yeah, quite.
So people don't know that was kind of a thing of his. He would, of course, he made the records, which were the best records. But that was a connection that he did not bring the spotlight every single time he went there.
Yeah, I would say you're right about that. It seemed to me, now I went in with him once, so I'm not saying I went in with all the time, and that was at San Quentin up in Marin. But he would be like a prize fighter before the fight, thinking.
Yeah.
You know, he wouldn't be saying much on the way in.
Yeah.
On the way out, he was like he was them. So it's like a prize fighter was focusing.
Yeah.
He focused. But when he came to go through where the guards were, all of us had to be searched, and all the inmates had to be investigated. So he had no mind, you know, or the whatever.
Well, he wrote a song about stealing an entire car one part at a time.
Yeah.
At GM. Yeah.
And I had the pleasure of being with him when he showed car that song was based upon. It was an old Cadillac.
Yeah.
And that was at his recording studio in Hendersonville, Tennessee. One day we were walking outside, and he.
So you record this record, Johnny Cash, Destination Victoria Station, at the House of Cash. That's where you're at.
That's where we were.
Yeah. You're at Mecca. You're at the House of Cash.
We're at the House of Cash, which was about 1.5 miles from his home on Lake Old Hickory.
Which no longer exists.
No,
it's gone.
It was probably very, very expensive to maintain, because June decorated the entire interior with mahogany and furniture from Belgium from whatever year it was. So it was elegant in there. I mean, it's like, you got to be kidding. And the hallways were lined with gold records and all that type of thing. And at that time, they had a 32-track mixing, and that was a big deal at that time.
Yeah.
You know, that was new technology. I couldn't believe all those buttons they were sliding up and but it was really a stunning place.
We're going to get to know Johnny Cash on a level that you've never thought imaginable, because we have a local connection here at Dana Point to the man who actually was there when they made this record. A record that when undiscovered, the analog rediscovers it and brings it to you in the full presentation that it fully deserves. I'm Sean Wright. This is Tom, and we will hear you later. How'd you like that? Hear you later. It's all about the audio. See that? You are a good man.